Yo, yo, yo. That's a crappy intro. What is up, everybody? Finally got the Z back. As you see right now, I'm currently driving it. Got the windows up. I'm already starting to sweat in here. It's really frustrating going from like 600-700 horsepower in the Z and then going to driving like a 120 wheel horsepower Chevy Cruze. So doing this, oh my gosh, I was like going through boost withdrawals. Dang, fool, get out of the road. Woo, that wastegate screams. All right, so I got my wastegate external now, and it sounds amazing. My turbo's loud. Oh, I love it. Exhaust sounds so good on this thing. So the Z's back, as you have, I've probably already said like 5 times. I got the engine swapped with a 2013 engine, and it only had 40,000 miles on it. Everything looks pretty much normal. So all gaskets, seals, O-rings, everything has been replaced. It sounds incredible. I'm actually working with admin tuning at the moment. We are doing some tuning, obviously, and actually I've done a few logs for him already, and I'm still boost spiking, but the external wastegate did definitely help. So I went from, I think we were shooting for like 12 PSI, and I only spiked like 16, I think 17. So it was a lot less severe than last time. So right now I'm actually running a 4-port max solenoid, and he wants me to swap over to a 3-port. I'm running the 7.5 PSI spring. So I'm making 7-8 PSI on wastegate. Talking to Monsef, he's saying it's probably around the 550-ish wheel horsepower range. Once again, I'm not dynoed yet, so I can't tell you for certain. It's a ton of power with how light this car is. We're gonna get that Corona pushing all this crap. Hey. Quick E85, you hold that fill up. Hey. Okay, I guess it's done.
The next day.
Alright guys, so it's a few days later after the last clip you saw of me filling up with E85. I was getting low on gas, so I need to fill up with E. And now the car is running like super lean. So we're working on that right now, trying to figure out what's going on, what we need to do. So last night I was talking to admin about what's going on, and it was the weirdest thing ever though, because it was like I'd be driving and I'd get about 2,000 to 3,000 RPMs, and the car would like start stuttering, and the car would be shaking, and like I'd look at the air to fuel gauge, and it'd be pegged out like way down here at 17, 18, and then I'd get to the point where it'd be all like tacked out in the middle of the screen here. So I messaged him about it, and he said send me a driving log. So I sent him a log. He wants me to send him an idle log, show him what's going on, so I'm about to do that here in a second. So I got to connect the evap control system pressure sensor, that way he can kind of see my ethanol. I don't know how that part works with the evap control system pressure sensor. Somehow I guess he can see the voltage through that. It tells you the ethanol rating. I don't know. All right, start this up. Oh, might be. Alright, now I'll start this up. File, here we go. So I just finished up with that part, doing an idle log, so I'm gonna send that to him and see what he says. All right, so as I'm sitting here waiting for a text back from my tuner, I decided just to take a look at everything and make sure I ain't got no boost leaks, exhaust looks good, you know, all that stuff. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but this is all wet with oil. There's oil dripping from this piece. All those bolts have oil on them. And I had my flashlight out, but up there's oil leaking somewhere. And then, where else is it? On my wastegate, you can kind of see, maybe not with this light, looks like oil has hit the wastegate, and then where it was hot, it like burned into it. And then on my dump here, you can see where oil's like come back and hit it and like went to the sides. So there's those spots, and then right here you can see this has all got oil on it. So I have a pretty nice oil leak somewhere up in there. I'm actually taking it to the shop that did the oil, or not the oil swap. They wanted to look it over after a week to make sure that everything looks good. But I'm gonna bring this up to them. I think that I got a pretty gnarly oil leak somewhere. Where, yeah, you can see a big glob of oil. I don't know if it'll catch that. Big glob of oil right there. Yeah, so I gotta take it back to them, see what they say. Hopefully we can repair it, but I feel like with that spot, ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's something leaking down off of this. I think that's my power, yeah, it's my power steering. Looks like I might have a power steering fluid leak too. I don't know if you can see that. It's wet right there too. In the end though, I don't mean to try and throw shade at anybody. I know that may seem what's going on here. But when you take a naturally aspirated car like the 370, you add a pretty big turbo on it, and then you double if not triple the horsepower. Like, you come up with these little problems along the way, and I was fully expecting that. So, like I said, not trying to throw shade. It's just some things. There's just things that pop up along the way that you got to fix. So there's my things. My MAK solenoid that's back there, my 3-port gets here tomorrow. So I'll be making a video on that, installing that piece, and hopefully we get this boot spike problem fixed. Alright, so that's where I'm ending this video.